Greetings and salutations, folks, and welcome back to Alan Wake. And what I like to talk about before I jump into the game is the pages of the manuscript that you find, because Alan Wake is unique in its position in that one, the documents you find on the ground generally don't build on the lore of the game. Most of the time, most games, when you find audiobooks, when you find documents, they give additional information that is not found elsewhere. Quantum Break is especially true of this, offering lots of information about the secondary characters, the tertiary characters. Whereas Alan Wake, the manuscript, it describes what is going to happen in the game. It describes things that have happened in the game. And one of the things, and that's that first thing, the act of describing what is going to happen, almost kind of feels as though Alan Wake is spoiling itself. Like, when I jump into this game, I already know that I'm going to have been saved by somebody and taken to the clinic, and Alan Wake will have been in the clinic for a while, because the clinic that had that big psychiatrist who is all about helping out creative types. But I know it's going to go wrong, and I also know the one of those old rockers is going to kill one of the nurses. So, so on one hand, it feels as though some parts of the game have already been revealed, but at the same time, there are other aspects that have not. Like, the manuscript that is typed up only kind of shows what's going on the surface world. It doesn't really talk about the darkness. And there's some elements of mystery to this game that aren't answered. I do believe this does get answered towards the end of the game, but let's just continue for now.
Previously on Alan Wake, I'm hunted by the law.
Sheriff, Wake's running. I'm giving chase.
Are you seriously telling me that writer just took out my deputies?
A thriller I supposedly wrote is coming true. The genre of the story seems to be shifting. It's turning into a horror story. I was told that Alice had been kidnapped, but that was a lie.
We don't have his wife. We don't know where she is.
Her purported kidnapper was eaten up by the dark presence before it attacked me.
Alan, shh, baby. It was just a nightmare.
Alice.
There you go, Alan.
Hartman. I fell.
I had to give you a sedative. Don't fight it. You went through another rough period.
What?
Right now, it's very important that you stay calm. We don't want you to have another episode. You're a patient at my clinic. Have been for a while now. The shock of your wife's death triggered a mental illness.
No. You're
Clearly, the best time for a psychiatrist to tell his patients these things is while he's waking up from taking sedatives. And luckily, he's got the exact same outfit on, despite the fact that some time has passed, and that he was found from the river.
Groggy. Whatever Hartman had bumped in me was making me numb. I felt like this was happening to someone else. Someone I was watching on television. I couldn't think. Couldn't focus.
Which seems like a very specific, take that, share.
No manuscript pages.
Especially since he's been seeing himself in various televisions throughout the city. Also, this looks less like a hospital and more like a hunting lodge or something like that.
Feeling better now? Feeling calm?
Yeah. I see you brought your pet gorilla with you. So sure, I'm calm. I get the message. Loud and clear.
Why, right. That's the spirit. You're being very brave, Alan. I understand you're confused. I would be more concerned if you weren't suspicious of me. I don't blame you for it.
Big of you.
So while Alan was out, does that mean essentially that
We'll reacquaint
the
you with
darkness
my
itself
clinic
was
and go
asleep.
over everything you might have forgotten.
That kind of
Little walk,
makes it
some
seem like
fresh air.
like Alan should
Yes,
take that as
it'll
a
do you
sign that
good.
his connection to the darkness is very suspect. But first, the creator's dilemma.
Most of them aren't here right now. Jack took them out for a fishing trip, except for the ones who are particularly vulnerable, of course. I encourage creativity as a part of the recovery process here at Cauldron Lake Lodge. I specialize in treating artists.
I bet you do.
Splendid, Alan. I honestly believe we can get this thing under control if we work together.
Sure,
This
exactly.
way, Alan.
Right away. Sorry, gotta admire your bear. And also, is that a hedge maze over there? Hold on. What am I looking at? Okay. Some surrealistic art. Alas, Alan Wake is not trusted to use
Now, Alan,
the
from
elevator.
past experience with you, I know I need to get right into the heart of the matter as quickly as I can after an episode. So I'm just going to say this. Alice is dead.
No.
You're in a very vulnerable state until you understand and accept this. Alice drowned, and you couldn't face that. You're suffering from hallucinations, paranoid delusions, unusual thinking, an obsession about light and darkness, a feeling that everything revolves around you, your thoughts and dreams.
But what about the
Your
rest of the
mind is
town?
constructed in
Have I
elaborate
hallucinated that
fantasy
hard?
in which your
I mean,
writings are
it could be
affecting
easy
reality.
to believe
She's
that.
been kidnapped, and supernatural forces of darkness are trying to stop you.
It could be easy to believe that everything's all in his head, but
this
at the
way,
same
Alan.
time,
I wasn't ready for another shot, so I went along with it. He had to be lying. But under the influence of the drug he had given me, I had to fight not to believe his words.
It's all in your head. You've been making it up. Apart from the tragic accident with your wife, no one has been killed. Your delusions are just a manifestation.
okay. So does that mean that the rest of the part has been hallucinating? Such as the attacks on the police officers in the forest.
I know the instinct is to resist me, but think about it. Doesn't this make far more sense than the insane supernatural conspiracy you have concocted in your mind? You're a skeptic by nature, Alan. We both know this. Everything can be explained logically.
That would be purely logical, Mr. Hartman. Ooh, a sundial.
I never get tired of this view. Very inspiring, isn't it?
Cauldron Lake.
A little bit
below us.
foggy.
I could see Mirror Peak on the other side of the lake. I thought I could make out the spot where Diver's Isle had been when I arrived with Alice. Now there was nothing but waves.
That's the other thing. Like, if he was hallucinating because of the shock of his wife's death, then how could he have hallucinated the presence of the island?
This way. Follow me. Alan, what I'm telling you is good news. Right now we're in control. Every time you have a relapse, it gets more and more difficult to resurface from the dark depths of your imagination. Not surprising, considering your profession. Imagination is what you work with.
See, okay, so
After all your nightmares, this
he
should
says
be
he
an
takes
immense
care of
relief to you.
artists,
If it doesn't,
but at the
why is
same
that?
time,
Because I'm lying?
he considers
Because you don't want to admit
the
that you're
creativity
wrong.
that Alan
It's very
has
natural
is
for you to think of me as your enemy.
a hindrance to Alan's psychology.
Hyman
the one
obviously
trying
loved
to
his
bring
own
you out
voice.
of the world
His
you've
words echoed
constructed for
madly
yourself.
inside my head.
But I can't
I dug
do
my
it
nails
by
into the
myself.
palms of my hands to stay
You
focused.
need to work with me. Once you accept that, we can begin the journey towards your recovery.
Also, I guess it would make sense that every door would be locked here. Hello, sir. Are you
Here's the
Nurse
entrance
Sinclair
to the
over there?
office wing. That's for staff only. You were impressed by my trophies when you first arrived here. I do love to hunt. The great outdoors, Man versus nature. It's wonderful stuff.
Pretty damn wonderful, yeah.
Yep. Pretty amazing. And whatever happened to Carl Stuckey?
Scary.
Emerson,
Okay. I have no idea what just happened there.
Bad dream, mister. You should be afraid of me. Don't want to run into me in the night, that's for sure.
please, Emerson. Mr. Wake is confused enough as it is.
Yeah, you'd like me to go away so you won't be scared. But you can't just decide what kind of dream you have or when you have it.
Emerson,
Okay. Sorry. Boo.
that's
Hmm.
We're actually making some progress with him, I'm happy to say. He works on video
Elbow
games.
strike. Ooh,
It's
yeah.
trash, of course, but it does invest in a small creative effort, which makes him receptive to my therapeutic methods.
No kidding.
That's what's one thing that's kind of missing from Max Payne 3 is the weird like fourth wall breaks that Remedy does in like Max Payne 1 and 2.
Writing as a part of the therapy. As soon as you feel up to it, you should continue.
You know he's a respectable therapist when he has posters of his own book throughout the building.
My rheumatism's killing me. There's a storm coming. Oh, what a storm.
Ooh,
I hope it wipes this place off the
is that
face
Night
of the
Springs, the
earth.
board game?
And these two
Is.
are the Anderson brothers, Odin and Tor.
I don't think they're playing it correctly.
With this, a heavy metal band in the 70s and 80s called Old Gods of Asgard. They even adopted new first names to complete the image of Viking gods. After the band broke up, they lived on a farm nearby. They are, well, in advanced stages of dementia. They're well cared for, TLC and all that. There's nothing more that can be done. I'm afraid that the rock and roll lifestyle...
Are those knives they have in these cups? That seems a little bit dangerous to be having in this kind of place.
I'm so sorry to cut this short for now, Alan. The power has been acting up. I'd better go check on it. We'll continue this soon. Meanwhile, when you feel up to it, return to your room and try to write. It really is for the best. Don't you think?
That seems a little bit suspicious.
I'd like to bash his head in with a hammer. Oh, he'd love to fish out our secrets, but he has no clue. He's not crazy enough. Not crazy like us, Sonny. Yeah! Being crazy's a requirement, Sonny. Who else could understand the world when it's like this? It takes crazy to know crazy.
That's the sanest thing I've heard in a while.
Right.
All right, Tom. Hey, we like him, don't we, bro? He's got to go to the farm. The Anderson farm. Valhalla! We wrote it all down, lest we forget. A crash course. All you need to know to get your head right.
Oh yeah, now I think I remember. Going to the farm has the big fight scene on their old stage.
My head was clearing up, or according to Hartman, I was sinking back into the fantasy. I was convinced he was lying to me about everything. Crazy or not, the Andersons made more sense.
Tom, got any booze on you?
Welcome to Cauldron Lake Lodge. We're here to give you the specialized help you need. However, please observe the following. Please ask friends and family to schedule visits beforehand to ensure they don't interfere with your therapy and or periods of creativity. Also, please respect your fellow patients' need for privacy and personal space, especially when they're engaged by their creative processes. Typically, our patients have long-term creative problems, and they won't be solved overnight. Give yourself permission to take the time you need. Bear in mind that you're voluntarily receiving treatment that has been specifically tailored for you. Engagement therapy, trademarked, and its sister method, the flow trademark, work best when you are actively engaged in shaping them. If you have any concerns, please don't hesitate to voice them. Yes, I do have a concern. I seem to be trapped on next to a lake in which a dark presence seems to feed on creativity. The positioning of this lodge.
I'm a bad dream, and you can't wake up. You can't hurt a nightmare because all dreams are only imagination.
Hello, Mr. Painter.
Oh, hello. I've painted you.
Okay.
I was
Okay.
just struck by inspiration a couple of days ago. Dr. Hartman wanted me to paint landscapes, and that's what I was doing. But now I've been doing these things, a lot of them. The images just keep coming. Dr. Hartman likes them. He has them in his office.
Yeah?
He's very proud of me. He says I'm getting much better. I think I'm getting better.
Which makes me also wonder whether Dr. Hartman is essentially positioned there by the darkness. Like, the darkness doesn't know that Alan Wake is out there, but if there is a situation that would create, that would allow creative people to be pulled to this spot.
Wait, why don't you humor Dr. Hartman and give the writing a shot, huh? Typewriter's in your room. You can get to your room by those stairs, Wake.
And the fact that Dr. Hartman wants Wake to be writing.
Something's wrong. I'm not myself. It's hard to think that there's a shadow inside my head. I can only focus on writing. Everything else is a blur. I'm trapped in this cabin. Have been for days, but it's always dark outside. My editor is real. I saw her again. She's not human. It's not human. A dark presence is wearing the old woman's face. She was covered in clinging shadows. There's a hole in her chest where her heart should be.
Oh my.
I think I've made a horrible mistake.
This is the first time the physical Alan in the TV has spoken, or at the very least moved his mouth, along with the words. Alright, let's go back to my room and try to get some writing
The
done.
glare of the blank page in front of me hurt my eyes. My hands began to shake uncontrollably.
Everybody calm down. Put that down. Bert, I need help.
Hey, Wake, you stay here. I'm gonna go see what's up. You just keep doing what you're doing. Be cool, okay?
Yes, I will continue shaking uncontrollably in front of a typewriter.
I didn't know what the chaos was all about, but it could be my only chance of getting out of here.
I don't know.
Here's a friendly poke from Mjolnir.
Hartman had mentioned that the power had been acting up. Maybe that was the reason for the generator and the work light on the balcony.
Oh, hello.
Well, things are unraveling fast, aren't they, huh?
Hartman kept talking, giving Barry the grand tour, clearly proud of the place. He went on and on about his hunting trophies, and Barry was impressed. But he was here on business. He raised his voice, cut through the monologue. Hey, Hartman, where's Al? Hartman stopped in mid-sentence, annoyed at the interruption. He nodded at the hulking orderly standing nearby. The man smiled and clapped a practiced hand on Barry's shoulder.
And that definitely is incredibly suspicious. It definitely gives the impression that Alan Wake is not here under his own volition. Oh, there's the
It
nurse.
looked bad. That wasn't a love tap. The crazy old fart hit her hard. And if she was one of Hartman's goons, she had it coming. I could get the key to the office wing from Sinclair. I had to get to Hartman's office. He had taken all my manuscript pages. That's where he'd be keeping them.
It's time to pay the piper.
Alright. And also there are all the paintings in Hartman's office, Hartman's office as well.
Hartman, do you hear me? I'm gonna sue your crazy quack ass.
Oh. Am I going to be hallucinating?
Ow! About time!
Barry, man, am I glad to see you.
We need to get to Hartman's office.
It's right next door.
You okay?
Yeah.
Ah, damn it. There goes that conversation.
These were all the pages I had on me. And more.
Alan, please. You're sliding back into the...
Tell me one more lie and I'll shoot you in the face.
Ah, well, it was worth a shot. Really, Wake, come on. Let's work together on this. You have no idea...
Hartman, shut up! Barry, get out of here. I'll catch up with you. Get a car.
Also, it's interesting to note that, again, that Alan never actually shoots somebody who's not veiled in darkness.
This is a mistake. Don't you see? Together we can create something absolutely wonderful. With your ability and mine.
Or maybe the doctor doesn't know he's being used. So I got a gun, but no flashlight.
I had to find a way out.
Not exactly a useful combination, considering my opponent. Nope, nope, nope. I find that this camera angle does not quite work so well, given the very enclosed quarters. Oh, no, no, no. Not that way.
I needed light to get the possessed bookshelves out of my way.
Just use one of these lamps. Alright, let's go upstairs. Hope for the best. Oh. That is a small... There we go. Talk about knocking out all of the stuffs. Okay, so no flashlight just yet, but that will do. Oh, hello. Ah. Damn it. Oh, a flare. I guess that's somewhat useful. I guess that is pretty useful. Although now the flare is gone. I have this lamp. Oh, hello.
Hartman knew he was no creator. He had no ambitions on that front. And he certainly didn't want to end up like every artist he had worked with here, damaged in ways that were hard to describe, or worse. It was enough for Hartman to maintain creative control and provide direction, to be a producer. That was what most of these people were in need of anyway. Of course, suitable subjects were few and far in between.
You know, before I turn this on, I'm gonna have to remember to mention that I probably could use a producer myself. I don't remember this one. Is this low budget Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift? Mustang Drift. It is like the thing. Like my main issue is, as a writer, is just, or should I say, as somebody who wants to be a writer, is just the act of sitting down and writing. Can I go? Nope. Huh. I'm mildly confused as to what my next step is. Ah, hello. Thank you. If you don't mind me, I'm just going to... Oh. Oh?
I'm here.
Barry, you are a godsend for bringing along a flashlight. Also, is that him? No, that's a light. That looked like a manuscript page from way over there.
We gotta get going. I found the car, but the gate's locked. You're gonna have to go through the hedge maze over there.
Of
Barry,
course.
I don't have a light.
Take this, Al.
Yeah.
Oh God! Look at the house, Al! Look out!
That looks pretty awesome. Oh. Oh, nope. Although I feel this is very, very, like, even classic Stephen King as well. Like, that's something that got cut out of other versions of The Shining. Is, the hedge maze, for one thing. Suspended. Is the presence of a hedge maze, and two, the animals in the hedge maze coming alive and attacking the characters.
Oh jeez, Al! The house looks bad. Let's get out of here.
I like your plan, sir. That is an excellent plan. Also, I probably should mention something that happened in between the last time I recorded playing this game and this time, and that is the fact that that Remedy has reacquired the rights for this game from Microsoft. So... oh. So given enough time, this actually might become a lesser version of the game. Assuming they actually decide to put out like a remastered or something like that.
I stared at the Viking paraphernalia that littered the area, surrounding an unlikely centerpiece. A full-size stage complete with an impressive sound system with all the trimmings, including a dragon. It took a special kind of crazy to build something like this in a remote field. When the sky split open with a deafening boom and the music started blasting, it felt strangely appropriate.
Ah yes, the big brawl over at the farm. I will try to live. Oh, hello. Nope. I'm definitely going to need to improve my ability to dodge. Before said brawl, because if I show up and I'm constantly getting hit left and right, I am not going to do very well. Okay, so that, I think, is the way forward. Or is this not the way forward? Oh, this is a dead end, but the dead end with the manuscript page.
Hartman hurried down the corridor. He had disliked leaving Wake when he was surely at his most susceptible to therapy. But this was not an ordinary storm. Wake had been writing, and he had woken something up in the depths of the lake. Now, it was coming for him. Hartman had naturally prepared for a situation like this. The idiot brothers would keep Wake distracted while Hartman double-checked everything, just to be sure.
So how much did Hartman know in regards to what was in the depths of the lake? Like, it seems like he had some inclination. Okay. You know, sometimes like their ability to just Evil Dead all over the place makes these villains, these transformed villains, very silly. Okay. I am out of bullets. This is not something I was expecting. Also, Thermos! Damn it. And dead. I was not expecting to be fighting a villain who has more health than my gun has bullets. Especially since there really doesn't seem to be a spot for me to pick up bullets. But there are... Oh my god, yes, 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 I already know about this. So should I focus more on the birds who conveniently show up on the side? Okay, let's run in here. Let's grab the thermos. Let's grab these items. Oh. There we go. That kind of sort of went better. So now which way do I go while I'm being harassed by birds who are not on any convenient radar? Alright, either way, I go through this light, birds disappear. Literally, they just, oh, shotgun.
Mott knew that Wake was smarter than him. Wake had more money, a beautiful wife, everything. And Hartman said Wake was important. That made him better than Mott. But Mott was calling the shots now. He'd expected Wake to whimper and grovel, but instead, he seemed willing to fight. Mott knew he'd gotten under Wake's skin. If only Mott actually had his wife. The thought made him shiver.
Again, is that the kidnapper? Like, the kidnapper's name was never actually introduced in-game. And also, if the kidnapper is pretty much dead, why is any... Oh, hello. Ah, damn it. I'm taking there we go, finally a good dodge. I'm gonna have to do like a whole bunch of more of those. So, one dodge per series of attacks is not going to do. Yeah, a flare. Oh, no, no. And luckily, these doors aren't going to unhinge themselves to attack Wake, so it's like, just point flashlight them, wait for them to dissolve into nothing. Oh, manuscript page.
For the moment, Barry was just glad he had survived the fall. He had been separated from Al, and there was no easy way to climb back up. He told himself he'd be okay in the gloomy forest at night. He would just
sure, if you believe that.
His way down. Barry turned when he heard the heavy footsteps and saw the movement. The man-shaped shadow lunged at him from the bushes, an axe held high. Barry screamed and threw up his hand. The world exploded.
You know, I honestly don't remember what happens to Barry in this game, whether he lives or he dies. Clearly, it does not seem like it's going so well for Barry in the future. Oh, hello. All too easy. Although that's one of the things that it makes Alan Wake more challenging is when enemies actually do show up all around you, rather than when enemies just show up lined up in front of you. Also, that is a very short space of time between checkpoints. So that is the right way. But let's see what's on this stretch. Oh, look, it's a manuscript page.
Hartman watched as Wake's features slackened. The man was bullheaded, no doubt. Even lying on the bed, he'd almost broken Hartman's nose the second time. But with a little time, he could break Wake down, give him proper direction. Wake was easily the most promising subject he'd had. Well, since Tom, really. Sleep well, Alan, Hartman whispered with a smile. Let me take care of you. He sniffed hard to clear his throbbing nose, swallowed blood, and barely tasted it.
Although, here's the thing. Like, Tom the Diver, Tom the Poet was 1970. So how long has Hartman been doing this business?
Al! You're alive! Let's get out of here. Can you open this gate? Maybe. Barry.
I like that confidence.
Well, I slammed it shut when the nasty showed up, and the key fits kind of loose in the lock, so,
Okay, so it looks like I'm gonna have to be,
I'll find it. Don't worry about it.
Oh, hello. Yep, I'm gonna be, defending myself while Barry struggles with the lock.
Hurry up, Barry. I'm on it.
Ah, hello. I was not aware that you had the ability to... Damn it. That didn't take very long. That was just maybe like 3 or 4 hits. Okay. I did not know that they could climb onto the ledge with me. That changes things. Okay, why does Alan Wake change to look at Barry? Like, don't look at Barry. Look at the guys who are going out to kill you. Ah, where did you come from? Is this a shotgun or hunting rifle? That almost hit me. I'm very lucky it didn't. God damn it.
Please tell me we're headed headed for the nearest "You're now leaving Bright Falls. Come back soon" sign.
We're going to the Anderson farm.
I knew you were gonna say something like that. You know what? You owe me big time for this. When this is through, if we make it,
I like the presence of the Alan Wake standee in the back seat.
tanning bed is a gift, and I'm gonna live in it.
Although I forget about the fact that the Andersons themselves were also affected by the darkness. The fact that like the darkness was attacking all creative types, which is itself an odd.
You're barking mad. You are by far the craziest.
But maybe that's inevitable when you deal with crazy stuff like this. It helps. This is happening, Barry. Alice, they never had Alice. She's trapped in the darkness at the bottom of the lake, but she's not dead.
Al, how can you know that?
I know, Barry. I can.
Al, I
know. Listen, I can. Bring
Also, Barry, pay attention to the road, please.
Something special about this place.
You're a little bit all over the place.
It does something to the works of art created here. It makes them come true. But there's a catch. The dark presence, whatever that thing is, twists it to its own ends. That's why all of this is happening. It's using my manuscript to take over everything.
Al, I believe you.
It happened to Thomas Zane before it happened to the Andersons.
I believe you. Crazy or not, you're not delusional. Weird shit's going down. That's a fact.
Yeah, you can't really argue with that.
Man, I'm with you.
The Andersons knew about it, but they were too far gone to tell me with all the drugs they were on. But they wrote it down. There's a message somewhere at their farm, Barry. We just need to find it.
Sorry, boulder crossing. Also, that boulder hit the car really, really hard. Like, a lot harder than I would have expected considering the size of the boulder, but I'm not exactly a boulderologist.
God damn it, Al, talk to me!
And also, he left his gun on the dashboard, so he probably doesn't have his gun anymore.
I had lost my gun in the crash.
Yep.
Barry was nowhere to be seen.
Barry! Barry!
Barry! Where's Barry?
Jeez, it's good to hear your voice! I was trying to get out of the car, but the ground gave way. Man, what a drop! Don't worry, your cutout is fine.
Forget that! Are you okay?
I hit some bushes, didn't get a scratch. There's no way you can climb down, though. It's like a sheer wall.
I'm impressed how they can still have a conversation. You want to go.
Use a flare, Barry!
Yeah!
Barry, are you alright?
Alright, so Barry survives that assault.
Guess you never messed with anyone from New York City before, huh?
From New York City, also. That is clearly the farm in the background. Is this another excuse for me to fight against taken versions of tractors? Farm equipment that has been encapsulated by the darkness?
Suicide! I'm going to the farm. I'm gonna go ahead and secure the area. You can catch up. Don't worry about it. I'm on the case.
Of course.
Rambo, this would turn into a disaster if I didn't catch up with Barry.
But then, here's the thing. I wouldn't really recommend Barry stay in one place either. Like, that seems just as dangerous. Hello. Oh no! I'm going to have to hit a light somewhere because... Nope. I assumed I would be able to fit in that space. Damn it. Damn it. I wish that I could see a stamina meter so I could know exactly when Alan Wake would stop being so tired. So tired of all this running around. Or at the very least, see how long he can actually...
Shadows crawled over the gate. I needed a light to destroy them to get through.
Ooh, A manuscript page.
Agent Nightingale stared at the passed-out writer. The man was sleeping off one hell of a night. Nightingale felt a stab of envy at Wake's oblivion, but he had a job to do. He put the gun to Wake's head and almost became a murderer. His hand shook and his throat felt tight and dry. Biting his teeth, he tried again to pull the trigger.
Oh yeah, because he does get arrested, and then Barry and Wake
have to settle for an arrest.
end up in jail. Oh, generator. You know, it's a good thing these generators produce enough power in order to give off that light, despite the fact that the generator themselves are off and not producing any power. And strange how that light offers no... there we go. Nope, nope. No, why are you... Physics.
I could sense the movement in the woods
Ooh,
ahead.
flashlight.
Facing the enemy without a weapon was dangerous, but I had no choice.
Trust no one in the dark, of course. This is known, Khaleesi. Although, at the very least, I do have a flashlight, so it could be worse. Oh, hello. Am I going to be tested on my ability to dodge? I think the answer is yes. Nope, start. Yes, I am. And I have clearly been failing. Hello, how are you? I don't know how I missed that dodge. It seemed like that should have been okay. There we go. Damn it. Run, fool. I don't care that you're tired. I mean, really.
A car was driving away from the farm, headed in the same general direction as I was. For all I knew, it was Barry, caught in the consequences of leaping before looking.
And what do we have here? A better flashlight? No gun, but a heavy-duty flashlight. The
car was heading for the cabin up ahead. It wasn't far. If it was Barry, I would see the damage soon.
Oh, hello. I suppose that is the advantage to just having a flashlight versus having nothing, is that if you're fighting against...
I'm trying to deliver each page to the right time and place. I'm trying to show you how the story goes.
I had seen glimpses of the light before. I had seen it in my dream. It was a strange spaceman or a diver in a bulky suit. He was the one who'd been placing the pages on my path. The dark presence followed the choreography laid out to it in the manuscript, growing stronger and stronger, moving like a storm from one scene of destruction to the next. But it was still bound to follow the story and chained to the dark place it came from. When the story reached the end it longed for, it would finally be free.
Also, no gun, but flares, which would themselves be useful. Also, there are a lot of traps, which I would be very impressed if I somehow managed to avoid them all. Color me very impressed. Also, will there be guns in this cabin? Or a means to... This cabin is just a wall now. Okay.
The storm raged on as the Anderson brothers walked unsteadily away from the clinic with the other patients in tow, knowing that this time they wouldn't return. The darkness around them seethed with horrors, but Tor and Odin were unafraid. Their eyes glinted with guile. They knew every secret path, and there was blood on their hands. They had fought these shades before.
Alright, let's hopefully start this one up successfully, as opposed to the previous one, which was unsuccessful. Yes. Oh, hello.
Someone had left a gun behind. Now I had a fighting chance of reaching the farm.
Sir, you have 2 bullets. Like, you have the chance to fight 1, maybe 2 bad guys. Especially with my aim, it's probably 1. And there are also traps. Fantastic dodge. Now I just have to do that 100 more times. Damn it. Okay, so that wasn't a properly timed dodge, but at the very least it got me out of the way. Yeah, that was good. Ah, ha, ha. Oh, that was just rude.
I could see the car, but there was no sight of the driver.
Hello? Anybody here? Barry!
No! Danny, you're not! Please! What are you? No! Don't! I'm sorry!
Hello?
I know you. You were in jail the other day.
I went to the farm again for the moonshine, you know? It makes you see. They're not gonna miss it. They're in the loony bin. My buddy, Danny, I lost him. Something's gone wrong with him. It's not him. Like a real bad follow-up to a real good movie. The best friend's suddenly the bad guy who wrote this crap anyway.
And there he goes. Oh, hello.
I've run through every possible course in my head. If I continue like the Dark Presence wants me to, the story I'm writing won't save Alice. It's a horror story, and it's going to kill her, and me, and everybody in this town. No one will survive. Darkness will consume everything. This is what it's wanted all along. It will be free, unstoppable. It used Alice to get to me, dangled her in front of me to keep me going. It was never going to release her. I'm going to change this. I'll escape. I've written myself into the story. I'm now the protagonist. This feels like a terrible risk, but it's the only way to save Alice. I'll be bound by the events of the story just as much as anyone else who's been woven into it. The story must stay true for this to work. There have to be victims along the way, near escapes, cliffhangers. In a horror story, it can't be certain that the hero will succeed or
Like,
even survive.
does it really have to have near-death experiences and cliffhangers? Can't he just make a really bad story?
I'll make it happen.
Like, he doesn't actually need to write a good story to save the town. Like, he could just... He could just make a really bland story in which the dark presence just evaporates into nothing. The end. But I suppose it might be a little bit tricky considering that... most of the story has already been written. Yep. There we go.
The farm was still a good distance away. I'd need a car to get there fast.
Consider it done.
If Barry wasn't up here, he was probably in trouble down at the farm. For a moment, I felt bad for doubting him. After all, I'd made it this far myself. But Barry was Barry.
Any sudden stops on... See, on one hand, I like the driving there, but in this game, well enough. But on the other hand, like, it has very touchy right analog stick controls. Like, what it does with the right analog stick is it points the camera in the direction you push it. So, you push back and to the right, it'll immediately switch to back and to the right. While I would rather have some, like the right analog stick just turns it like normal. Oh, hello. Nope. And you don't even have to hit it that hard, you can just... I forget how to... There we go. That's how you boost. And then there's one more guy. Hello, sir. Would you like to get some fender in your life? And it looks like I'm back on foot. That was good while it lasted. But at the very least, oh, hello. And hello. So let's get rid of you first. Terrible dodge, but actually complete lack of. But solid plan. And also somewhere, yep, there's the stage. And that is my destination. Where should I have gone? I should have gone this way. Yep, and that takes me directly to the stage where Odin and Thor will have their final performance.
Brothers used to be some kind of rock stars, but it hadn't really sunk in until I saw the stage.
I like the Scarecrow audience.
Run! Incoming! There's too many of them!
Yeah.
God damn. I'm so glad you decided to go it alone, Mr. Bronson.
Shut up and shoot! Ow! We have to fight them off! I can tell!
I wonder if this is a actual song or if this was specifically written for this game.
Hold on! I'm trying to get the stage lights on!
Yeah, work on that, sir. Alright. Oh, is that a pump action shotgun? Okay. Hello, how are you? Okay. Still going, still going. Ooh, flashbangs. Okay, so in theory, somewhere out here there's also going to be batteries. Oh, hold on. Heavy duty flashlight. Damn it. I will try my best, no guarantees. Okay. Ah, damn it. Damn it. There is a lot of lighting effects going on. And I admit to be partly blind to a lot of them. Oh, hello. Reload. The act of reloading. 6 bullets. More than enough to kill anything that moves. Well, not really that much more. Was that it? I don't know. I think that was it.
Awesome!
I think I did it.
Bright Falls, rock and roll capital of America.
That went really well, considering. Okay, so I've got tons of batteries that I did not use. More batteries that I do not need.
This way to the farm!
Heading on over. You know, for some reason, I remembered that as being the climactic moment of the episode, so I don't exactly remember what happens next. I clearly have to go there, though.
Seller, no reason to worry. Your cutout's good as new, right where I left it. I'll come back for it once we have the place secured.
Yeah, that's been my biggest worry all this time.
Most definitely.
Moved out of the way.
This is as far as I got before they ambushed me.
Yeah, and there's a ladder right here. And jump.
Hey, I think Alan Wake here has something to say. What's that, Al?
Ooh, I'm Alan Wake. I'm always right about everything. And if I don't get my way, I'll sulk all day long. I'm always intense and moody. It makes me very attractive and mysterious. Right now, I'm just standing here because I need my best friend Barry to carry me. But that's okay. I can just take him for granted.
I think I see what you did there.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
You want me to do my imitation of Barry Wheeler? No? Thought so.
Don't worry, I'll just write him into the next bestseller. There's clearly something going on inside.
Wow! You look at that anything, Al? They really went all out with this Viking crap, didn't they?
Clearly. They got themselves a boat.
They've done okay for themselves, so how come I never heard of these guys before?
And this from the guy who learned about Ozzy Osbourne through reality TV?
Oh, nope.
We all spend a third of our
Night
dreams in
Spring.
its soft
Man,
embrace, somewhere
back
between
memories.
fantasy
Hey,
and
remember when I
oblivion.
got you that gig? Your
But dreams
first
have a
real
way of
writing
forcing
job. What got you
themselves into
started?
waking life,
Was this one of your
or
episodes?
vice versa. In Night Springs. Tonight's episode.
That's kind of interesting. The idea of this in-universe commentary.
We join Mr. Jones as he explores the endless dreamscape, only to be brought to a sudden stop by a decidedly mundane situation. A long line of people.
Hey, Jones, right? Listen, we're gonna have to wait until His Highness over there is good and ready. Oh, wow. Who's that? You don't know him? What are you, new? He's the guy dreaming us. Well, not just us. He dreams everything. All of this.
But wait, no. I'm the one who's dreaming. I'm asleep. Isn't this my dream?
Oh, yeah. Sure. Get real, pal. You're just another dream. I'm a dream. You're a dream. The weirdo in the diving suit is a dream. And the girl made of smiles and sunshine is definitely a dream.
But I'm pretty sure I'm dreaming this.
Well, maybe you're a really confused dream. What am I, a shrink? All I know is I'm going with the smart guys, and they say that's the guy doing the dreaming. Right there.
I don't know what that means.
It means we keep him happy. No sudden falls. We make sure he has his clothes on when he goes out in public. No chases where the monster is nipping at his heels and he runs like crazy, but his legs don't seem to get him anywhere. None of that. Because if he wakes up in a cold sweat...
Oh.
Yeah, precisely. So we wait till he wants to move on. Keep things nice and calm.
Hey, something's happening here.
Yeah? What's that?
What? Can't you hear that?
Oh, God help us, it's an alarm clock. Oh, it's you, isn't it? Please, man, I got a wife and kids. Please don't wait.
Okay, so kind of makes me wonder, like, imagine if you were able to choose what you dreamt about. Like, you could actually have nighttime dream entertainment. Would you take up the offer and have really... Would you want staged dreams that are tailored for you, or random dreams based on your own psychosis, your own psychology? Manuscript page.
It's 1976. Madness reigns at the Anderson farm. Contrary to all logic, the headiest ingredient of their moonshine is unfiltered water from Cauldron Lake. The Andersons feel like gods. Odin can't stop laughing. He contemplates cutting his eye out. Tor runs across the field, naked, shrieking, hammer in his hand, trying to catch lightning. Their songs have power. Something ancient is stirring in the depths, coming back.
So clearly the Andersons...
looked imposing, almost like a battering ram.
It will be a battering ram. So the Andersons weren't really quite in the right head. There we go. Be awed by celestial wrath and fury. Also, here's the thing. Were they the only band members? Oh, hello. Anybody else want some? Because if they were like a metal band, they probably at least have a guitarist and a drummer. But having like a 2-person metal band, that seems like it's very limiting. I'm not saying it isn't, sir.
I think we can make it through here, Al.
Where did that guy go? Oh, hello. Luckily, I was already dodging his attack mid-conversation. Or should I say, mid-attack. Like the cinema hadn't even introduced him, and I was already dodging. Alright, so that gets rid of that guy. Let's throw a flash grenade. Damn it. That's very rude of you. Why aren't you still reloading? There you go. I saw that coming from a mile away, and I still missed the... Damn it. Much better. Still almost dead. And I'm terrible at dodging. But I'm alive. And that's a start. Ah, hello. Yes, Barry, get into the house. Ah, there's their moonshine distillery.
Wow, those geezers had quite a production going on. Ooh, you know what, Al? If we make it through this alive, I'm gonna start representing them. Yep, sell this stuff online, maybe get a reality show going, release a new single.
Good luck with that, pal.
Hey, you find us a way out of here, okay? I'm gonna take a closer look at this stuff.
I'm sure if you think that you can actually sell any of their stuff at this point, means you're already hopped up on their own moonshine. Although, here's the thing, I guess if that music that was playing on stage is meant to be representative of their work. Oh, hello.
I'm good. Keep your eyes open, okay?
Nope, I only have 1 bullet left. And I have 32 shotgun shells. So clearly I need to use more of my shotgun shells. I clearly have been saving those shotgun shells for a rainy day that isn't going to be coming because, like I've mentioned before, ooh, heavy-duty lantern. I already have a heavy-duty lantern. We'll worry about the radio on our way back down. Because there's obviously going to be there's in theory going to be a way back down. Oh, no, there isn't. Let us listen to the radio, see what's going on in the town of Bright Falls.
As you regular listeners know, I tend to work through the night, but I'm not the only one. Deputies Mulligan and Thornton are taking a couple of moments off their busy schedule to join me here in the studio. Boys, how busy are you now? Deerfest is almost here, isn't it? I bet that keeps you in business.
Pretty busy, yeah. Actually, Pat, we've been real busy with other stuff, which concerns an ongoing investigation. We can't talk about that.
Yeah, the chases that are going through town.
I was just saying we got, other irons to fry.
And how would you compare your workload to last year's? Things have seemed relatively peaceful to me, but people do tend to get a little wild this time of year.
Oh, it's wild, Pat. It's pretty wild. There's been all sorts of trouble this year. Vandalism, fighting, public disturbances. A lot of people gone missing, too. Yeah, it's pretty much the usual stuff, Pat. Just, a lot more.
Yeah, absolutely nothing's going on. Okay, let's go on. These guys aren't up to much. Yeah, everything's going fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong at all.
could see the building that had to be the Andersons' home on the other side of the field. It wasn't far now. I wasn't worried about trusting the ramblings of two burned-out geriatric wrecks. They had the goods.
Alright, let's look, see what's going on in here. Maybe some... yeah, some regular bullets. Although I probably should, again, just use the shotgun anyway. Oh, hello. And there goes that guy. That guy was surprisingly tough. How is that relevant to anything? I mean, just because you're a farmer doesn't know that you... that doesn't really mean that you're supposed to know how many cows and pigs there are. Alright, let's knock open this door for Barry so that he can join me on my quest.
Al? Is that you out there, buddy?
Yeah, it's me. Hang on.
I had to find a key to get Barry out.
I'll try to find a key.
Why don't I just shoot the lock? I've got a shotgun. And many shells. I mean, I'm told that... I guess I'm told that technically doesn't work. Oh, silo keys. That was very easy. Kind of makes you wonder why I really needed to just walk 2 feet away just to get the key.
Hey, let's go, man.
Also, what is this? Oh, that's just green. It kind of looked like a highlighted green.
We're gonna have to work together to open this gate, Al. Looks pretty heavy. Ah. Hey, I think that's the farm on the other side of the field. We're almost there. This farm is a crazy place for crazy people.
Clearly.
Right at home then.
And the farm is named Valhalla. Where did Tor and Odin go? For some reason I expected them to be there.
Come on, one more gate. Let's do this.
Yep, chainsaw. Old gods know the truth.
The lights are out. Guess we better check the fuse box.
And the fuse box is upstairs, I guess?
I thought the Andersons were on the booby hatch.
Oh, hello, no.
Again, Alice's screams rang in the stillness of the night. I saw myself run toward the cabin, flashlight in my hand. I followed my past self. I was an out-of-body observer, a time traveler in a crazy drunken dream. This was the beginning. The night Alice had disappeared. The mystery of what had happened during the missing week was about to reveal itself.
Ah, okay. Here's the fuse box. Okay.
Can you hear that, Al? Music?
Of course. We need to find where it's coming from. That's the message the Andersons talked about. That's the whole reason we're here.
Lady of the Light? Oh, that's gotta be... what's-her-face, the crazy lamp lady from the town.
Cynthia Weaver.
Right.
Did they write a song about her? Oh, like they got a drum kit.
Okay.
We need to find Cynthia Weaver. We'll stay here for the night and head back to town as soon as it gets light.
Oh yeah, because finding Cynthia Weaver
Might as well get
leads...
some rest. And by rest, I mean drunk.
Come on,
I wouldn't
Barry,
drink
this is-
anything inside of those.
Yeah, what the hell?
I'm sorry about that. No, seriously, because I know we don't get along, but we're gonna find her, right? And even though you're a crazy bastard, I'm gonna stick by you, no matter what, ever, Al. Sure, like a brother.
I mean, since you're essentially drinking moonshine made from Cauldron Lake water.
Books that year.
No, you couldn't.
That's right, I couldn't. But I could, because I'm a writer.
What? What do they put in this stuff? I feel like my brain is coming out of my nose.
It makes it kind of odd because it feels like these characters really ignore the manuscripts.
Booze millionaire.
I just miss her, Barry. I just want her here with me.
I know, Al. I know. It's gonna be okay. We're gonna make it okay.
I like this sudden camera cut to the Alan Wake standee.
Alice, I'm coming. It's all right. I'm coming.
It was a crazy drunken dream, and yet it was more than that. It was the truth, a suppressed memory unearthed by the Andersons' moonshine. I was there, an out-of-body observer. This was the night Alice and I had arrived at Bright Falls, the night Alice had disappeared. I had a chance to find out what had happened. I remembered being surprised to see the cabin dark. Alice would have never turned the lights off. I remembered thinking I caught a glimpse of her form underwater, sinking into the darkness. Diving after her was the last vague memory I had of that night. After that, the next thing I could remember was waking up behind the wheel of the crash car and finding the first pages of the manuscript. Beyond this lost memory, there was nothing. I had to follow the footsteps of my past self to find out what had happened that night. I couldn't find
All right.
all that blackness. I must have thought she drowned.
I forget about this part where it actually recaps what happened.
Alice.
Jagger had Alice, and so she had me.
Alice.
So he actually did emerge from...
I'd been easy prey.
Look at the cabin. Is there someone in the window?
Alice?
Maybe she didn't drown after all. Maybe she's inside.
Alice!
Yes.
Then why are you dressed like you should be going to a funeral?
The dark presence had touched me. She had dug her nails into my brain and used me, made me her puppet.
She must be here somewhere. Maybe upstairs in the study.
Alice!
Yes, that's where she is. You can apologize.
Alice!
She's right next to the typewriter.
Put it behind you.
Alice?
She's not here. You were foolish to think so. No, she's dead. She drowned.
Yeesh, that was harsh.
It's your fault your wife is dead. You are guilty. All she wanted was to help you right. You killed her. Oh, hush. There's still hope.
No.
Cauldron Lake is a special place. Here, you have the power to change things. She wanted you to write. I will tell you what to do. You can write her back. The story will come true, and all will be well again.
She had Alice, and the manuscript was the ransom for her.
It almost seems like dream logic, being within the darkness.
All right. I'll fix it.
I will hunt and peck the letters with my index fingers.
No, I wrote it.
Is that a secondary Alan Wake in there?
In the dark, I'd written for days, a week, almost a complete manuscript of a novel entitled Departure. Jagger had been my editor, whispering in my ear, making sure that the unfolding story would make her more and more powerful. I thought I was saving Alice. Even with the cobweb she put in my head, some part of me had been aware enough to write my escape into the story, to bring a light into the cabin to release me before I could finish, to interrupt the horror story before the ending, where darkness consumed everything and everyone. Zane was weak and far away, but I had written him into the story, and his light had been enough to set me free.
It isn't here now. I'm here because it was written. I brought the light to set you free. You must hurry. It will know I'm here. It will be back soon. It stole the skin of my Barbara a long time ago. She looks so old.
And that's where Tom the Diver acquires the manuscript pages.
Consumed by darkness and fear. All I could do was
Although that presents the idea that the manuscript pages themselves have a sort of are physical. Like they exist.
The week spent in the cabin had taken its toll. I was barely conscious and fading fast. It had to have cost Zane terribly, thrown him even deeper into whatever dark place he now haunted. But he had managed to weaken the dark presence, kept me safe that night.
Yeah, Alan probably should not have been driving under the influence of darkness.
I wrote it. It's my fault.
That's right, James Joyce. It's your fault. And you're
Why is Nightingale's references always so old? Thank you for watching. Questions, comments, recommendations for something to play next? Comment down below or send it on over to itsoundedgoodonpaper@gmail.com. That's itsoundedgoodonpaper@gmail.com. So long for now.